Mr. Jamell, Melly Mell Richardson here at the world famous House of Guitars in Rochester, New York. How you doing, Melly?
Doing pretty good. Loving this cold weather. The snow is something different, because you know I'm a country boy from Alabama, so.
Yeah, so did you do any snow angels while you were here or anything?
No, I had a friend had me shoveling some snow. I'm not gonna call no names.
Well, you know, I just want to get into it a little bit with you, Melly, because you know, you kind of relatively new in the game. Yeah. Even though you sound like you've been around for 100 years.
I feel like it.
Yeah, you feel like listening to your music, I feel like it's more like one of those 45s you used to put on, or maybe even AM radio days, and you hear that old classic blues music. That's what I feel like I'm listening to, and I'm listening to you digitally nowadays. It's crazy. So let me get into this a little deep here, you know, because people are going to be searching you out and want to know a little bit more about you. And you know, give us a little bit of your background.
Well, everything started for me in the church, just like many of the other musicians and artists that's popular today. Most of them came from church background, well, at least most black musicians anyway. So growing up in church, my grandmother bought me my first guitar at the age of 2. And the rest is kind of history after that, if you want to sum it all up. But growing up, listening to local church musicians and quartet groups and traditional gospel, like traditional gospel is my background. So, so when you hear the soulfulness in my music, that's where that comes from.
So, but are you trying to tell me you knew you wanted to play the guitar at age 2?
At the age 2, when I heard it.
Wow.
When you hear it.
And so, I mean, at age 2, knowing this feeling, it had to be really crazy when you get about 12 and you really start wailing on that guitar, huh?
Oh, well, actually around 12 and 13, I did my first recording session. So around that age, I was, I guess, pretty developed guitarist. So
you're raised in the churches, yes, and the studios, yes, and the stages.
Yes.
Wow.
So,
I mean, what do you like out of all your experiences on stage and stuff? I mean, do you prefer to be in the studio, or do you prefer the live crowd, or is it kind of equal, or give and take?
I gotta have that crowd. You
yeah.
know? And I love studio. Don't get me wrong, because well, the studio it plays a big part in developing true musician. You know, developing your techniques and stuff. Because you can't go in the studio playing crazy any kind of way. Stuff got to be clean. Every little speck that you hitting, buzzing, hitting strings, you're gonna clean it up. It's gonna make you better as a musician. So, but the live crowd is definitely where it is.
Well, I'll say that because, like, the first time I heard one of your records, I was blown away. I was like, man, this is some great stuff. And then I seen a live recording of you, and it took it to a level I didn't think was possible. I wanna know why you treat me the way. So, you know, you're blessed with both of those. You know, a lot of artists are only good in the studio, and yes, they're really not that great on live. But with you have the best of both worlds. You're great on record, you're great live. You know, any live projects coming up, do you think?
Well, I recently released my EP back in April, which is entitled The Gulf Coast Blues Boy, which is available on iTunes, Spotify, pretty much any digital download. I'm working on my album now, and it's going to be entitled Bringing It Back.
So you're bringing it back old school? Bringing
it back. Bringing that old school sound back. You know, it's going to be mixed. I got a few songs going to be mixed with a little hip-hop sound, but it's still going to have the traditional blues in there as well. Yeah. So it's going to be bringing that old sound back.
Yeah, because I was really curious when I first started listening to your music a couple years ago, knowing that you're in your very early stages of your 20s, and I just could not, I was more blown away, but where does this old school sound come from a guy so young, but now knowing that you started at 2, that makes up the difference in age, I guess, right? Because, I mean, you don't play guitar like a young 20-year-old. You play guitar like a guy who's been performing in clubs, and, you know, his van broke down on the way to the club, and, you know, this happened.
I didn't have all our money.
Yeah, I mean, this is how you play like that. So, I mean, it's very amazing. Hats off to you and able to accomplish that. But, you know, where is that coming from? I mean, I know it's years of playing, but there's something else deeper there.
it's something that can't really be explained. You know, some artists can play, some artists can sing, some artists can sing and play. Some artists can play a little bit, sing a little bit, and entertain real good. Some artists got it all. I mean, fortunately, I've been blessed to have a little bit of everything and be able to entertain and just, you know, grab people, you know, within that first split second of me walking on stage, you know, to be able to engage in the audience and just making the night the experience of a lifetime.
Well, you know, and I'm not trying to make you feel good or anything.
Oh,
it's
not
fine.
My job, but it's fine.
You know, I know throughout the years, and I've been in this music business many, many years. I've seen all kinds of acts. I know there's always been that once in a blue moon act that you see that just you say, man, that's it, or it gives you the chills. And I'd say the last 5 or 10 years, I haven't had that feeling. And then I put on one of your live recordings. I watched a video on YouTube, and it gave me that feeling of when I used to see a young Stevie Ray Vaughan, or you know, a young B.B. King, or a young Jimi Hendrix. That you knew you were seeing something different at that point in your life. And you know, like I said, I'm not trying to make you feel good. But being honest with the people, you have to check this guy's stuff out because it is a feeling, and there's no question about it. And I'm not biased to any type of music, but I know when I hear a guy wail on his guitar and I hear blues being sang like that, it gives me chills. Even knowing you on a personal level, I usually don't get chills with people I know. You know, so that is a gift all by itself.
Man, no, nothing really makes me feel better than to be able to come off stage and to have people come up to you and, you know, want to touch you, want to hug you, and feel close to you, and some even with tears in their eyes, and it's just because they, you know, just feel it. They feel it, you know, because when like you said, when you see me play, I'm like super passionate, like I'm there. Like even sometimes I have to catch myself, because sometimes I'll be so caught up in playing and performing, I'll be at a place where I feel like crying. I don't even know why I'm crying. Like I'm just that passionate, you know. It's just a feeling, and for the crowd to feel what I'm feeling, and the smiles and the hugs and all that stuff, it makes me feel good.
Do you, like, you know, being on stage, you know, are you feeding more off the musicians you're playing with as much as the crowd what they're doing, or is it a very great combination of both? Or? Well,
the music got to be right. So if you playing behind me, you got to be on point. I mean, you could ask my band. So
wait, let me get this straight though. So when you're with the band and you're going rehearsal, are you like screaming at them and yelling at them, and just that perfection it just has to be perfect at any cost, no matter what? If it is not perfect, man, then you can hear me scream kind of guy.
Well, I'm not at that screaming level. I'm not as dramatic as I would say James Brown was, but because when I play, my songs are playing on stage, I don't really go by a script. You know what I'm saying? I might, even though my song might have 2 verses, a vamp, bridge, whatever, that night I might feel like singing 1 verse. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not really just structured out. So they know how to follow me in that feeling, you know. They know where I'm going. The whole thing is being able to play with me and know where I'm going, feel where I'm going. So I'm not really just, no, you gotta be like that, but you gotta know how to follow me.
Well, yeah, because I did notice that when you were playing with other musicians from some of the videos I've watched on YouTube, and it seems like every time I see a video, it's a different style of music, but your flow is exactly the same. So you really put yourself in the position of, you just put yourself in that song. Definitely. Is what I've noticed.
Definitely, yeah.
But these guys are knocking on our back door here, telling us we have to get out of their store.
Yeah. So
why don't we tell these the people at home where they can find you and find your music and all that stuff?
Well, if you want to find me, you go to JamellRichardson.com, JamellRichardson.com. You can go to iTunes, look up my EP. It's entitled Gulf Coast Blues Boy. Well, just Google me, Jamell Richardson. You might find my shoe size, my sock size, my shirt size, my mailing address. You might want to send me some money. No, I'm just playing. But,
you can say, let me give my address for that.
But Instagram, Twitter, Jamell Richardson. I mean, just follow me. Find me, follow me. write me,
Google
email me,
Google them, Bing them,
Bing me.
Bing them, Bing them.
Yeah, that didn't quite sound right, but yeah. But yeah, that's where you can find me.
All right, well, Melly, I appreciate your time, and
Thank you.
we'll be seeing you on the road, I'm sure.
All right.
Yeah.